the upper bracket finals of the OSC Championship 12. It's a best of 5 to see who advances to the grand finals, and we'll get a slight benefit from coming for the winner bracket tomorrow when we play that grand final out. Who will get there and who will have to slog through some lower bracket matches instead in the top left-hand side. This is going to be our Blue Terran from Team Liquid. It's Clem taking on the Red Protoss. It is going to be MaxPax, a classic series here in the OSC Championship. MaxPax and Clem, both previous winners of the OSC Championship. MaxPax in 2022 and Clem in 2020. Both looking to be the second person to get a 2-time OSC Championship. Solar has already won it twice in 2015 and 2018 or so. Let's see which of these players will give themselves a good shot at it. It's very possible these two meet again in the grand finals as well, so if that happens, then obviously going from the winner bracket gives you a bit of an advantage too, which is nice. Let's see what we get. Last time I casted Clem against MaxPax, there was a bit of a stomping in that Leo League Cup finals. But we all know that any series between Clem and MaxPax has really the potential to go any which way on any given day. Last time MaxPax was very good with the Stalkers and the early aggression. Clem clearly was not quite feeling it. I do not think today will be a stomp, as we saw last time I casted these guys, so let's see what we are going to have happen. So the probe comes down to the bottom right side. Going to have the probe into the natural nexus coming up. We get going. Power cancel drops down, so we are going to see MaxPax opening as we expect him to into that blink. Adept moves over. Maybe we're going to be there. Adept will take a couple of shots. We are going to be seeing our starport coming online. The reactor coming through. Stalker and a warp gate coming up as the Marine and the SCV are going to go and not kill the Adept. That's a 2 HP Adept get now. It's had 3 kills, so it's been a very successful Adept early on. 2 Adepts going to come shading through, and they're going to keep up the pressure. Obviously, one of them is low HP, though. I'm not sure we can really commit to any shade in here. I think that would be kind of asking for trouble. Something you don't really want to be doing right now as the Hellion stares down that Adept, and the Adept will try and shade forward into this position. So, setting up, a few Marines and the Hellion going to come across. That Adept is so low, by the way. Hellion, if it chases it, though, is going to get jumped on by the other Adept, is going to be the problem, so I think we've got to be very cautious of that. See now Hellion's still coming through. Raven coming up, Siege Tank and Marines on the way out. Nexus building from MaxPax on the 3rd base. Hellion starts to move forward. A couple of Adepts of MaxPax will step up into the natural expansion, so in they go. And Blink is about to finish up from MaxPax, so we'll get that Blink completed. The Hellion on the map is still taking some map control. A couple of Adepts are going to come over. And 2 barracks coming up. The CC is on the way in, so we are going to get to a 3rd base here. And Clem is already surviving through this early stage of the game, which is never necessarily a guarantee when you're playing against MaxPax. Starport flicks on over. Moving to the side, the Marines are going to come gather up onto the natural. Engineering bay building in the natural as well. The Adept coming forward. The Stalkers are stepping through. On the bottom side, the Hellion is going to get turned around by a Stalker as well. So that Stalker is able to push the Hellions the other direction. Sets up, the Stalkers blink into the main base. And Charging +1, both coming through. A couple additional gates coming about. We got ourselves another gateway coming online here as well. Still got the Raven of Clem ready to make a move down that right-hand side and try and get into position. And the Stalkers are going to begin to trade with a couple of Marines just up on that high ground. 2-3 workers going down to the order turret is a nice bit of harassment for Clem at this stage of the game. So able to get some workers with that Raven and just starting to chip through. Starport lift's going to go peel away to the reactor now against Impact, Combat Shield, and +1 all continuing to come up. Purple Bay is halfway completed, and again the couple sentries and a Zealot hanging about on the third base. Stalkers gathering, the Adept moving over. Gateway will be building from MaxPax. Bobs will just sit there and really keep a very good eye on things right now. The Marine's going to be spotted as the Hellion comes underneath the prism. As Clem gets ready to move out into his third base, MaxPax is already setting up to be aggressive. I mean, the Stalker's already here just keeping an eye on things. We start to bring more units across the map as well. Zealots are warping into the first Colossus is going to be popping shortly. Nice job getting rid of a Widow Mine. Obviously, get rid of these Widow Mines, you're going to make it more powerful for the Zealots if you do want to charge into and commit into this fight on this third base. And yeah, knocking down the Widow Mines will help you a lot with that, as the Observer gets knocked down, the Marines are going to find that kill. So we've got a refinery, another SCV gets grabbed, another Stalker takes a shot by units. The Clem still stepping through, 2 Stalkers go down. Huge. Absolutely huge. The Prism unloads into the natural at the same time. So this is where Clem now has to multi-prong and split up his units. Make sure he doesn't get overwhelmed in one single position. That's exactly what MaxPax would be hoping to find in this scenario. So the Colossus gather up. The Marines turn the Prism away. Force fields will be dropped once again. And again, Colossus, extend them a lance, +2 attack, all coming online right now. Upgrades that should push MaxPax into a bit more comfortable of a position here, as he's been unable to break Clem on the 3 bases so far. And hence this game gets to play out. It's great to see. Go blinking around, he's going to be seeing a Colossus firing through the bayou and taking some damage. The tank getting hit, the Zealots will continue across as well. Apparently that's just going to be an attack to end it. Wow. Clem just gets out of there. Take a quick rewind and just watch this fight. A little more close. I didn't think Clem was going to jump out just like that. So the tank's here, he pulls back. Army supply from Clem's a little down already. He has a few units just over here. Zealot's hitting his natural. He has a lot of units in the main base. The units in the main base trying to deal with the Prism, he's just out of position completely. Yeah, the units in the main just, like, that's 20 plus supply. And without that being here, it's just so difficult to fight this, and that's going to mean that MaxPax is going to claim the first game. As we do have in the bottom left-hand side, taking the 1-0 lead. Going into Ley Lines now for map number 2. The blue Protoss player is MaxPax. Up against our red Terran in the top right corner of the map from Team Liquid, we have got Clem. Thanks so much for playing Royal Match. Appreciate it. Anonymous player. Reaching level 20. Still a whole week to play Royal Match and support the stream, guys. Exclamation mark Royal in the Twitch chat. Download on your phone. We heavily appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Say a big appreciation. Probe nibbling. SCV gonna take some nibbles right now. Series coming about. It's going to be Snap Pro moving over. Again, get a Reaper and Factor coming through. SCV on the way. Cybercore coming up as well. Let's see that Nexus building on the natural. And again, the probe going down. So the probe falls. Clem cleans that up. And we'll have his factory finishing soon. We're going to have a second Reaper already. So Clem will have a little bit of early unit production to work with here. So Reaper will patrol back and forth a little bit. This Reaper just very much so chilling as Reaper number 2 joins up. We'll see if they can go cause trouble or if they just want to meet this Adept and try and deal with that early on. I feel like that is definitely a concept right now, as we do see those couple of Reapers beginning to hit this Adept already. Adept taking a few shots, gonna commit on the Shade, and unfortunately just goes down, hitting only the Reapers, which will regenerate HP over time. And now Clem can go across the map and try to do something himself here on Ley Lines, heading down to that bottom left-hand corner. Twilight Council building from MaxPax in the main base, so once more we see him heading to his Blink play. So you know what this follow-up will be, as Clem will see a full wall off, and he will just start to chip through one of these structures here. It's going to be the Robo Facility. And we should be able to get a Stalker out. Actually, Stalker can already reach this, apparently. If the Reaper repositions. Robo is, genuinely taking some damage. Now the Stalker tries to come through. We're going to jump straight onto the Stalker. Clem is going to be through. Probes are going to pull as MaxPax recognizes the threat here. Probes taking a lot of damage quickly. The Hellions are putting in work. 4 workers going down. How much more can we get? Going up to 6. We're going to now aim for the Stalker, which is probably the last piece of guaranteed damage you get right now. And then you probably get one more probe. Oh, it's low HP, but it doesn't go down. That is not going to be one more worker, but 6 workers and a Stalker. Disruption at the front. And Clem does a lot with what was just a handful of Reapers and Hellions. That does mean he was building those instead of other units, as we now have the Cyclone and Marines building up on the side of Clem. We'll see if those are going to be enough defensively. As these first units come across the map, but also remember that as these units come across the map, it's also not quite, go time just yet. Blink is a long way off, so as long as Blink isn't ready, should be a big factor. First few Stalkers, need to be careful. You don't actually want to lose those. The Cyclone very nearly went down, but Clem Micro is fantastic. 1 HP Cyclone gets a lock on. Now he's just going to lift up and do a full retreat with the Medevac. We should go back. We should just repair. I think that would make more sense. Stalkers come over, ready to move into the main. Stalkers jump in, Rax takes a couple shots. Again, the Blink is going to continue for a moment or so. Still just seeing the starport coming through. And again, a couple more Marines coming out as well. So just getting all of that going. The Stalkers and the Prism gathering. Engineering Bay coming through. The Siege Tank is on the way. Observer coming about as 2 more Stalkers warp in here. The next is going to be coming online. And let's see what these Stalkers can do for MaxPax over the next few moments as we try to find ways to deal some damage. Hey, what's up, France? Thank you so much for the 72-month 6 Yeah, resub. Hi, Wardy. Let's go, Clem. Thank you so much for 6 years of support. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. +1 in charge. While Corona Boost out, we do have the Stalkers gathering. Against Impact, Combat Shield +1, all of that continuing through for the moment. Let's have our medevac bleeding out on the top side. Just going to be seeing a few Marines coming out of that medevac. And away they go. Medevac all the way around that top side for the moment. Again, +1, combat shield, Stimpack coming through. We've got ourselves medevacs, marines, and marauders coming about in return. So we're going to try and greet this. Clem is ready to move out across the other side. Let's see. What we can do is just push down, pushing across. It's a very scary push timing. MaxPax to deal with all those tanks. It's going to be Marines to distract at the same time. It's just going to come straight over. So that's going to come across. The Marines just going to get jumped on. So that's on the other side. Going to get a couple Marines as well. It's just going to be able to grab those Marines unloading in that back left now. Stalkers blink underneath. The medevac takes damage. Fire will step through. We see a battery going down. A couple of Zealots still showing up as well. This is great GG. Clem just absolutely demolishes him. The drop, plus the push being very powerful, and we get tied up just like that. 1-1 apiece. Right hand side, we are going to have ourselves the blue Protoss. This is a MaxPax. He gets himself all tied up in this series as he lost to that push. As Clem brings it back a game, and we are on track. Like I say, I have a great series between these two in the upper bracket finals. Gonna start with the probe coming down the right side. Probe going through, Rax and the SCV coming about. Get settled into this, just going to be seeing a couple of SCVs going to turn around onto that probe, so get a bit more damage done. And yeah, Reaper going to be on its way, the probe just being as annoying as possible, really trying to grab an SCV if possible for now. Probe leaves, but obviously Clem is going to be on the map very shortly. The Reaper is on the move, and we'll see if Clem can find much with this here on Amygdala for Game 3 of the series. Comes through. We're just gonna have ourselves the Adept coming down at the bottom. Again, Twilight Council, Stalker building, couple probes on the way. Have ourselves the Reaper moving about, and see what it can do as it steps on in. We're going to start nibbling at some of those workers, so a few probes begin to drop here just initially. Adept should Reaper take some damage. We do have the Cyclone and a couple of Marines on the way up right now. Clem gonna have that CC on the high ground. The Adept just gonna hit the depot. That's pretty much all you can do when the CC is high ground. The Terran chooses to play safely. There's not gonna be much breakout potential there as the Reaper here from Clem continues out across the map, seeing where we can go. Two gates coming up, Robo Facility building, Blink, Warp gates all coming online. The Adept is going to go chasing down the Reaper over to the left side as well. The Reaper is going to get hunted for a little bit. Get chased all the way down. Two more gates going online, Robo Facility coming up. And Blink just Chrono boosting as the medevac of Marines will get boosting forward. We do have the Reaper and the Cyclone able to get rid of the Adept, and we do have Landstalker showing up to get rid of the Reaper, but the Marines can threaten the main base, and then the Cyclone can threaten the low ground. One Stalker in the main ain't going to do it. It's actually pulling to the low ground as well to try and help defensively, and so Clem is going to look to start doing some damage. A couple of workers already going down. 3 workers drop immediately. MaxPax does not have blinks. That Stalker cannot blink away. It has to just pull away in the old-fashioned way, taking some steps, but there's 1 Stalker dead. There's 2 Stalkers dead. Plus 7 probes go down. The Cyclone finally killed off in the main and the natural as well. So just trying to blink underneath. The medevac will escape. Again, the game should settle now because I don't think this medevac gets back in with only 2 Marines. Damage done early from Clem. Clem putting himself in a great position initially. As this Prism continues to fly across, heading to the bottom left-hand side. Stalker blinks over. Bunker about to finish up on the natural. Stalker will step up, and SCV goes down. We blink over the bunker. Marine will fall. Second Marine falls. SCVs will continue to gather. And just have the Stalker still settling here as one more SCV takes a shot. We actually blink forward for more SCVs. It's going to be another Stalker getting shot at, and Clem is going to shut this down so far. I mean, the fact we already lose a Stalker is not exactly ideal for MaxPax. That's going to be troublesome. Every unit counts for a lot right now, and MaxPax is going to be in, I really think, a little bit of trouble already. Prism on the move. Hey Russ, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. And Prism comes across, we lift up into it, and we are going to evacuate the Viking there to chase this down. Server moving about. Coming around, again the medevac up to the top. Marines hanging around here. Stimpack Combat Shield and +1 coming through as well. Medevac chilling on the top side. The Stalker is kind of Prism hanging about. Gonna hang around again. The medevac coming up to the top. The Observer gonna sit there. And 2 Stalkers in the Zell gathering up. Gates coming through. Robot Bay coming online. Stalkers in the bottom left hanging about as well. Stalkers will go. Raven gets pushed to the side. Concussive Shells, +1 attack, all coming through. Viking on that left side moving as well. Another tank is going to pop. Prism warps in a whole chunk of Zealots. We are going to see the tanks getting siege. A couple Stalkers getting hit already as well. A couple of those tanks will unsiege once more. The Prism going to move down to the bottom side. Clem already setting up a pretty scary attack across the map just to gain just damage early. It's an interesting auto turret. He puts it kind of early on there, and the Zealots are going to get into the main base. Now Zealots into the natural 2 Marauders. They're going to turn those around at least. Prism should die. The auto turret's helping with the damage output. 7 SCVs fall. But these are a lot of Zealots, which obviously could really be used defensively. And right now, you look at the defensive army of MaxPax, it doesn't look like a lot. So yeah, kind of, yes, you get some damage done, but at the cost of maybe possibly having even less back at home to play defense with. Now there's no Prism as well, but Clem does not continue to push. He's kind of slowly chasing these Stalkers around, which I can't really say that I love that move. I do not think this is a position where we really want to keep on chasing around like that at all, honestly. And the Stalkers are going to recall back home. The Bioforce and the Siege Tanks are going to come across. You got a Nexus down on the 12 o'clock. Biostim's in. Nexus will take some shots. Probe goes down. Next in the pylon cancelled. Stalker's melting. Well, Stalker's going down as well. We are going to continue to press through. So it's going to charge up the sentries, the Stalkers. Everything's stepping away right now. Pylon is going to go down. We're just going to see how our force still trying to press into this right here. Is trying to step on forwards. A little more force fields coming into place. Again, that Bioforce going to stand tight as the Colossus will just about keep it at bay for the moment. Just going to keep this back. A couple of Vikings, Marines, Marauders, +1. All continuing up here as we speak. So, Clem in a good position across the map, but nothing determined just yet as we pull back around the other day. Stalker's going to come through as we just have a Widowmine going down. That's Terran Force now rotating to the bottom right, so a different direction coming in now. As we're going to be seeing Clem maintaining the lead. If you can just buy time as MaxPax, there's always going to be the chance that some of these fights might start to go your way, right? So, to an extent, that is a lot of the time what we play for. Is this base gets cancelled though, and that's going to mean you're still without a 4th base. It's going to be very, very difficult for you, very tough. It's going to be difficult throughout as the Bioforce and the tanks continue to gather back together, heading back down to the bottom left for a couple of moments. We regather here as the Vikings overhead. The Bio going to gather up. The Protoss force is moving around a couple different directions. You see a few Zealots getting warped in, and the Prism is going to go into the natural. These Zealots begin to unload. The SCVs begin to go down. SCV is going to pull forward, repair up the bunker. Widowmine gets burrowed as well. Both those Widowmines are going to start going off. Viking going to shoot a few shots. Prism taking damage. The Stalkers coming over. A Widowmine connects and the Stalker goes down. MaxPax is still just struggling on the supply. You know, for any moves he makes, he's yet to really have done anything that's just been too huge right now. Marauders come through. Just gonna see those Stalkers get chased. T2 upgrade, ship weapons all coming up. Again, Vikings, Marines, and Ghosts are coming now. Widowmines in production. Missile turret on the way. Prism of MaxPax moves through the bottom. Missile turret finishes just on time to probably kill this Prism. The warping goes off, but at least the Prism is gone, so it's going to be a one-time kind of thing you have to deal with once those Zealots are gone. This threat is just handled for the foreseeable future as Clem moves back through the bottom side. Try to deal with the potential push-in from MaxPax. Marines stepping up, chasing down the Zealots. Going to see a few of those dropping off. Clem is going to let the Vikings start doing some of the work here against this Colossus. Gotta be careful. A couple of Vikings starting to drop. Widowmine going to begin to burrow up as well. The far left side, those Zealots are going to charge through. Another Widowmine shot comes in. Widowmines are still burrowing. Seven SCVs going down actually as the Vikings continue to get to work. 9 SCVs go down in total. It's a lot of damage done. Something from MaxPax at least. Clem below 50 workers, but 140 army supply. Maybe DTs can mix this up a little bit as well, right? I mean, MaxPax just has to lean on any opportunity or chance that he has at the moment. DTs will, I mean, come in. Honestly, a lot of damage done. 27 SCVs have gone down. Clem has to pull back fully to deal with this as well. And for the first time in a long time, MaxPax is going to make the supplies look even. The difference being still is that Clem just has a massive army. And that army can still do a lot here. But, well, we know how disruptors work. A good disruptor shot and everything can change in an instant. And Clem's a lot more committed now because he's going to struggle to mine up the resources he needs to rebuild from here. And, I mean, 34 SCVs going down is a pretty serious affair. Clem is now all in. Now Clem actually just has to go. From so much harassment that was dealt with very well by Clem, this harassment just does so much. Clem needs to just send it. I don't think there's anything you wait for right now, because any moment you wait right now is just going to give your opponent time. Disruptor shot going to force you back. You lose a siege tank to it already. DT forces the scan. That's warping in. Another tank siege. Nope, we do have EMPs available. Going to lift some more Vikings into the sky. Good EMPs all across that army. Disruptor shots are going to start flying in. Clem, I think, is doing well enough so far because he could land the Vikings on top of disruptors right now, and that's not exactly going to be great for MaxPax as Clem's Bioforce is kind of still just hanging on in there. Widowmine shot hits a bunch of disruptors. We're going to kill 2 more disruptors as well. The recall on that disruptor, does it have a shot available? No, it's on cooldown. MaxPax has to GG out. Oh my goodness, it got close. Simply because Clem really has no rebuild potential, but that army had power in it, and Clem executes the fight as right-hand side. Our blue Protoss player. This is going to be MaxPax. He is down 1-2 in the series. As in the top right, our red Terran player from Team Liquid is Clem. Yeah, I think Clem actually played a pretty great game. He did damage early, he pressured, he denied the 4th base repeatedly, he did not take damage to the Zealots, or too much damage to the Zealots and the run-bys. He consistently cleaned out the prisms, so the Zealot run-bys were very heavily committed. And when they cleaned it out, it took a while to set it back up. Like, these are all major ticks, these are all things you want to be doing in the game. What Clem did not do well was, I think there was a couple of moments he could have pushed into position a lot sooner onto the 4th of the Protoss. Later in the game, and I also think he obviously really screwed up the DTs. The DTs did so much towards the end there. I mean, getting 35 workers when your defense has been so good otherwise, that's just getting caught off guard in a scenario where we've been watching Clem all game not be caught off guard at all, right? So, pretty big factor. SCV coming across the map as we take a moment to settle into game number 4. Reaper Factory coming through. No surprises there. We'll see if he high ground CCs. Most likely he will, just for safety's sake. I don't think Clem is in the business of taking risks. Unless he feels like the Reaper and Factory together will give him enough map control, it won't matter. The Engineering Bay blocked, which means that the Nexus has to come down onto the 3rd location instead. It's just going to take that out of position to start out with. And there is our Reaper popping, and straight into the reactor, and indeed the high ground CC, like I say, just doesn't want to deal with any shenanigans, doesn't want to have to use these units or be forced to use these units super defensively all of the time. That is the play we're working for right now. Reshoots, probe goes down. We're just gonna grab the probe, but Dev gonna shade after said Reaper. Probes. And 2 probes going down is pretty neat. Oh, thank you so much for reaching level 20 and the sponsor. Appreciate it. For some reason it's not showing your name, but if I see it, I will shout you out again. Thank you so much. Thank you. As our Stalker comes across the map, we get it moving. Marine's gonna fight Widowmine. He's gonna get burrowed. Helene and the Widowmine continue to come through. Probe facility coming about, Blink on the way through. We just have ourselves the medevac coming down the right side. As the Stalker will chase this medevac down. A couple of Marines in a siege tank building from Clem. And as the tech lab comes through, SCV is still producing. And the medevac escapes up the right. Again, Blink coming through from MaxPax. Prism Gateway on the way. Stalker coming online. Do you have the Raven just coming on the main base? And again, a few Marines continue to come up. Raven will finish momentarily. Again, the Blink is about to complete on the Twilight Council, so we'll just bring that through as well. Still got the medevac boosting around. 5 minutes in so far. A couple of Widowmines and a Helene here and there. This Widowmine obviously looking to get some work done. MaxPax setting up with his Blink completed to be aggressive as he warps in the 3 Stalkers. Has his next coming up behind it. Click straight up. I mean, gets a tank, takes a couple losses. Next tank sieges. It will leave the main base a little bit exposed. Dropping the main is going to come in now. Let's see what Clem's Widowmine can do. As the Stalker's playing back, Widowmine burrows. MaxPax is paying attention, is able to pull away, but the warp-in is going to cost him a Stalker. And Clem is going to be able to save that medevac as well. So that medevac gets out. Clem has, for the moment, defended his main without too many issues. Up. MaxPax only up 2-3 SCVs, or workers, which is not ideal. I like where Clem is at, actually, is... Clem actually is going to see what's going on here. Why has he got SCVs across the map? Mistake from Clem. Accidental SCV rush. 6 minutes into the game. Yeah, that's something you don't see every day. No explanation for that one. He pulled the boys, but he forgot to pull the rest of the boys and also the army, so... yeah. A little bit of a mistake. I finally feel like I can play like Clem. Bro, your SCVs would not have lasted as long as Clem's did. He threatened a probe. He forced a couple probes off mineral lines. Like, he had MaxPax worried, man. He was warping in defensively. I think MaxPax was thinking, do I need to, you know, drop a super battery here? I know that doesn't even exist anymore, but that's what he had to go to try and find an answer. Micro. Alright. We get into this game number 4. And MaxPax being defended against Clem is looking to try and find these probes again. So much lost mining time, right? One of the main things here is we'll just split the targets for a couple moments, but mine will fire. But yeah, it's one of those situations now where a lot of the early pressure is going to pass by, and we're going to get to see what happens in this mid-game. Clem is still yet to start a 3rd CC, so he's going to have some pressure off of these 3 racks at the very least, you would imagine. If he doesn't get something done off 3 racks, he will probably already be a little bit concerned. Five additional gateways and +1, but also now the Robo Bay as MaxPax makes his decisions for the tech tree. Going forward from this position. Combat shield, concussive shells, +1 attack coming up as well. We do now see a 3rd CC coming down on the low ground, so we'll get that 3rd command center starting up as well as everything else. And the Stalker's still gathering. The Prism warping in a couple of additional Zealots. Load those up, and the medevacs will make their way around at the right-hand side. which is going to be spotted by a single Stalker. Blinks away, but Marauder should catch it. The problem now is obviously the rest of the Stalkers are coming. They have a Blink available. Clem has the boost available, and he is going to get those units out alive, so... A little dance between the two there, and no one really comes out victorious. I think Clem comes out victorious because he killed a Stalker and got away. But, not in a major way. Fire steps through, a couple of Stalkers taking shots. Tank settling down as we do have our Widow Mines burrowing, the Bio Army gathering together. Gonna step through again, Widow Mine shot, gonna splash onto some of those Stalkers. The Siege Tank goes down already, and now the rest of the Bio. 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down immediately. Nice catches. We have a Colossus Chrono Boost now, the Extended Thermal Lance building on the Robo Bay as well. And Marine Marauder Vendivac still coming through. The SCVs and a +1 armor upgrade coming about. Our Stalkers will set up. Will come about. Widow Mine just going to settle as well. Bunker and the depot will come down over to that right hand side. And for the moment, Clem's still just going to push MaxPax away. MaxPax turns back to the center. Again, Dark Shrine coming up. The Forge finishing soon. Extended Thermal Lance to finish next. And then the +2 attack upgrade going to be on the way in as well. Folks just gather. Bio going to get going. Focus back up. Dark Shrine, a couple of gates coming through, +2 attack and the +1 armor coming in. Marine Marauder, Widow Mines coming through, the Vikings coming up. The Ghost Academy coming in as well from Clem as we get that settled. Marauder spreads. Stalker step up. Marauder going to take a couple of nibbles already. It's going to be seeing the Viking chilling. Let's see our Colossus coming through. A couple force fields go down. Marine's taking some damage. Gather again. Widow Mine's burrow, tank set up. Protoss Army gonna relocate a little bit, just moving to the sides. Gonna see some more units coming over, and that +2 attack will finish very soon. The Disruptor coming up, the Robo facility coming online. I'm just going to shoot a couple of Zealots in the center. Just going to get chased away. Stalkers going to be, again, forced away for a little bit. MaxPax the one on the map and looking to put the pressure in. And start stepping through the few Vikings. I'm going to fire it up, and the Colossus very nearly goes down. Not quite, though. Disruptor shot firing through. So we've seen the DT. Coming across as well. Vikings in the bio. Needs to gather. The Protoss getting back to the center. Widow Mine is going to shoot. We're going to see a Stalker going down as it blinks into the Widow Mine. Trying to get those Colossus to work, but it's so dangerous. The Viking count is good, and one Colossus falls. The Vikings got a little bit committed there, but 3 new ones just popped over, and that's going to help a lot in terms of keeping those Viking numbers good to keep this rolling. And now come around this other side. The Bio fighting Colossus going down. A few of these Zealots getting jumped on as well. We continue to chase. The Prism goes down. MaxPax is losing a lot of supply, and Clem is marching across the map up 2-1 in this series. He's going to knock down the cooling tower, knock down those rocks. +3 attack, +2 armor coming in. The additional Disruptors coming up. Bio now works their way down the left. There you see now Zealots coming through. Stalker's coming over. The rest of these Zealots will continue to come about as that Bio will fight. Just going to be seeing a Disruptor Shock going to fly through as well. Hits the DT, which is not exactly great as Clem is going to get rid of the Disruptors, and without splash damage, this Terran army is not going to stop. Clem is going to get the 3-1 victory in this best of 5, and he is just going to do it very convincingly in these couple of longer games. I mean, last game was much better from MaxPax. Clem played well, but then did kind of let MaxPax have a shot at winning. This game, he played extremely well, and he took some very good fights. It's definitely not as close as the last time around. We attack through, and Clem is going to take this one down. And he is going to advance to the Grand Finals of the OSC Championship. He will be in the Grand Finals already with a chance to go and win his second OSC Championship tomorrow as he takes the 3-1 victory. MaxPax admits defeat, and Clem secures